Hello everyone, Tutu Mora here with the Y, bringing you tools to feel well in your body, mind, and spirit. So today we're gonna take a little break from our day and get moving. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on toning the arms while working on overall core strength and stability. So all you're gonna need today is a wall to lean against, and also I'm gonna be working with a pair of gliders. So if you don't have gliders, which many of us don't, you can just grab a pair of socks, anything that's gonna allow your hands to slide across the wall. So I would invite you to find a wall, and I'm just gonna turn my camera around and meet you over there. So once you've found your station, let's start by just finding our posture, and then we're gonna strengthen it up against the wall. So to start, let's find our feet about hip distance apart. And I want you to bring your awareness to your heart space. So when we think of posture, a lot of times people automatically stand up straight and tall, but while flaring their rib cage out. So it's more of a rigid, flared out posture. But what I want you to think about is that your heart might be slightly lifted up towards the ceiling. So not lifted out, rather lifted up. And then thinking about your throat resting slightly behind your heart. Now that might feel strange because so many of us have naturally, given the way we live our lives, might have adopted a little bit of a slump, but that's okay. We're gonna strengthen the posture that we want to have. So finding that upright, stacked throat slightly behind that lifted heart, and that's what we're gonna work with here on the wall. So go ahead and grab your pair of socks, and I'm gonna be using these gliders. And we're gonna rest our hands about shoulder distance apart on the wall. Now our feet are about an arm's length away from the wall, and they're sit bone distance apart, just like we started standing up. So we're gonna carry our posture into a wall push-up, and so what I want you to think about is keeping that alignment. And as you bring yourself towards the wall, I want you to think about reaching towards the floor through your triceps, so through the back of that arm here. So let's give it a try, and then we'll layer on some challenging exercises to that. So arm length away, hands shoulder distance apart, and let's spread those fingers so we have a nice wide base here to lean on. Shoulder height. And we're just going to lean that posture in towards the wall. Triceps are reaching towards the floor. So we'll take this down as far as you're comfortable, or as far as you can maintain that posture, and up, nice and slow. Now as we're moving, imagining that in addition to keeping your heart lifted towards the ceiling, thinking about your low belly, just having a gentle lift or lightness to it. Elbows down towards the floor. Once again, triceps reaching towards the floor. So we're gonna take one more. You're probably feeling those triceps now. And if you feel your shoulders creeping up towards your ears, just give them a little drop. Okay, so you probably feel those triceps on, and we're gonna add to this. So let's set ourselves up, and what we're gonna be doing is once we take ourselves in towards the wall, on one side, our arm is gonna come up in a diagonal, back to the starting point, out to the side, and then down in a diagonal, back to the starting point. We'll do that 2 times on this side, and then we'll come back up from our wall push-up. So, finding your posture, finding your feet, finding your wide base is spreading those hands nice and wide. Let's bring ourselves down, bring that posture down, find that lift through the heart and the low belly, throat slightly behind the heart, and let's take it up on our diagonal. Out to the side, and down in our diagonal. One more time. Reaching to the floor with that stabilizing tricep. And all the way back up. Feel that little burn? Let's take that to the other side. So, find your posture again if you lost it. Shoulders down, little lift again through that low belly and the heart. Bringing yourself in. And now the other tricep is stabilizing, reaching towards the floor as the other side is in motion. One more time, up and on a diagonal. Out to the side. And down to your bottom diagonal. And done. Nice. Now we're gonna take it together. So, because both of our arms are gonna be moving, we're gonna be feeling that stabilizing activation more through the low belly. So, let's bring ourselves in, bring that posture and alignment in towards the wall, taking it up, keeping those shoulders down and away from the ears, to the side. You're gonna feel this one in the low belly as you take it down. Keep everything stable. One more time. And all the way back up. So, let's give ourselves just a little bit of a break. Shake out those shoulders. We're gonna loosen those up at the end if you need it. And you're probably feeling that through the triceps. We're gonna layer on a little bit more of balancing and stability by lifting one of our legs as we do these. So, while you can't see the lower half of my body, my feet are still hip distance apart, but I'm taking my left leg straight out behind me. So I'm challenging my stability. You can let your arms widen slightly if you need to. So my left leg is extended, lifted from the ground, and I'm taking that in and out. So now there's a little extra work to do to stabilize. We're gonna hold this next one in, and we're gonna take that out to the side, keep that leg lifted, as if you're pulling it up from the bottom of your butt cheek. One time to the other side. And down. Let that leg drop, bring yourself back. And we're gonna do that same thing to the other side. Bringing yourself in, lifting now that right leg straight back behind you. And we'll take it up to the side and down. Other side. And back up. Letting that other leg rest back down. You can put your gliders away, and we're still gonna use this wall. So, bringing yourself once again about an arm's length distance away from the wall. You're gonna let your shoulder drop here. You're gonna find a little connection of your spread hand, each of your knuckles into the wall. And it's about a shoulder height away. You're just gonna press into the wall here. Allowing your posture to come in, finding that drop of the shoulder. And now we're gonna rotate our head to look at our hand, pressing even more deeply into the wall. And now rotating to look away, pressing even more deeply, pushing that wall away. Let that shoulder drop. And now we're gonna bring our head towards the ear of that stretched out arm, pressing that wall away as you breathe. And ear towards the opposite shoulder, pressing that wall away as you breathe. If you lost any knuckle connections, bring them back in as you press away from the wall and back up. You can let that arm go. Hopefully that side feels a little bit better, and we're gonna move on to the other side. So, finding your, let's shift this just a little bit. Find your wall connection. Arm's length away from the wall, spreading the hand wide, and find that little connection between all your knuckles and the wall. So gently pressing away from the wall as you also find that whole heel of the hand against the wall. And so pressing in from there, let's just rotate our head to look at our hand as we breathe. Press into the wall with your hand and let that shoulder drop. Rotating to look away. And then ear towards this shoulder of the same side hand here as you press that wall away and breathe. And then ear towards the opposite shoulder, the big stretch. Breathe into this one, let your shoulder drop. Take as many deep breaths as you need to. As you press away, find those knuckle connections again. Head back to center, letting your arm drop, and you can give yourself just a little shake. Maybe your hands feel a little tingly because it is such a big stretch, and that's totally normal. So I invite you just to continue on with your day now, but feeling a little stronger, feeling a little bit more loose and more aware of how your body is feeling. So I hope to see you back here next time on the Wise YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this, I invite you to also like below. See you next time.